قناة الطريق قناة الرفيق سنمضي سويا إلى أن نصل هنا نبدأ السير نحو المعالي وزاد الطريق بألا تمل وزاد الطريق بألا تمل قناة الطريق.
Every Muslim reads or recites Al-Fatiha every day, not less than 17 times. However, some people make mistakes when they recite it. And as everybody knows that when we start reading, we seek refuge in Allah from Satan and we say, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. But some people make mistakes when they say that sentence. They say, for example, the first mistake they make is they don't put their tongue out when they say أعوذ. And the correct one is to put your tongue out and say أعوذ, not أعوذ. The second mistake they make is that they make whispering when they pronounce ta and they say الشيطان الرجيم, which is not correct because ta is not whispered. We say من الشيطان الرجيم. So the whole thing is أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. You have to put your tongue out and no whispering with ta. And some people when they say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, they make some mistakes. One of them is they don't say kasr as it should be. So they say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and this is not correct. You have to achieve kasra, you have to say it correctly, or you have to say it as it should be. So we say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The second mistake is that they add an extra alif after ra in Ar-Rahim and they say Ar-Rahim, which is not correct. We have to say it as Ar-Rahim. So the whole thing is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And when we recite Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, some people make the same mistake they have done before, which is not saying kasra as it should be, and they say Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, which is not correct. You have to say kasra properly, and you say Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Same mistake they make when they say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, they make it here also by adding an extra alif after ra in Ar-Rahim, and they say Ar-Rahim, which is not correct. You need to say it as Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. And when we say Maliki Yawmiddin, some people make mistakes. The first mistake they make is that when they say Maliki, they prolong or exaggerate the kasra to the extent that it becomes ya, and they say Maliki Yawmiddin, which is not correct. Other people make it sakina with no haraka and they say Malik Yawmiddin. Also, this is not correct. We say Maliki Yawm. And in the word ad-din, some people make mistake, which is whispering. They whisper dal, and it's not whispered. It's not ad-din or ad-din. No, we say Maliki Yawmiddin. Some people when they recite Iyyaka na'budu wa Iyyaka nasta'in, they make some mistakes. The first one is with ya. They don't say shadda as it should be, and they say iyaka, which is not correct. And some other people exaggerate it and they make it like mad, they prolong it and they say iyaka, which is not correct either. The second mistake is in dal, and they exaggerate dhamma and they make it like wow, and they say na'budu wa iyaka, which is not correct. And some other people don't say it as it should be and they say na'budu wa iyyaka, which is not correct either. So the correct thing will be iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. And when we say ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim, some people make mistakes. The first one is they make an echo, which is qalqala in ha, and they say ihdina, which is not correct. We say ihdina. The second mistake is when they say as-sirata, they make the sad seen and they say as-sirata, which is not correct. Some people say as-silata, which they say lam instead of ra, and they say as-silata, which is not correct. Some people make the ta as ta and they say as-sirata, Again, this is not correct. Contrary what they make in this word, they make the opposite in the word al-mustaqim. And instead of saying sin, they make it sad and they say al-mustaqim, and they make ta as well, which is not correct. So the whole thing is اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Yeah, and when we say صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم, some people make mistakes. The first mistake, they do the same thing they made in الصراط and they make it with صراط, and they make the sad as seen, they say صراط, which is not correct as we have mentioned. الذين أنعمت عليهم, أنعمت, they make an echo with noon, which is qalqala, and they say أنعمت, which is not correct. We have to say أنعمت. The same thing they make, instead of fatha, they make it dhamma in أنعمت, and they say أنعمت عليهم, which is not correct. So the whole thing will be صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. And when we say غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين, some people make mistakes. The first one is in the word al-maghdubi, they make qalqala, an echo with the letter ghain, and they say al-maghdubi, which is not correct. We have to say al-maghdubi. And when they pronounce the word al-dallin, they don't prolong it 6 harakat, which is not correct. You have to prolong it for 6 harakat, and the whole thing will be غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Welcome back again. Many of us want to correct these mistakes, but they don't know how to do that. And the only way to correct your mistakes is to learn. So we present to you that series, which is التجويد لمن يريد, التجويد for those who want it. And every time we'll present only one tajweed rule. And your brother Ahmed Munir, a graduate of Faculty of Languages and Translation, Al-Azhar University. And don't forget to tell your friends and subscribe to the channel not to miss anything.